Hello, everybody. This is the debut podcast of what we are gonna, I guess, call the Drunken Musician. We'll call that because I like to have a beer too, maybe a cocktail, on the weekends. And music is my life. I love music. I love listening to music. I love making music. All right. My name is Norman Claypool, coming to you from the Great White North in up north Michigan. I'm not going to give the exact city because I don't want you guys coming and bombing my house or setting it on fire. Because I know there's probably some of you out there that are going to hate it and want to just torch this place. So I'm not going to give you the location. But what I'm going to tell you is I'm deep in the woods. I'm hidden, baby. You can't find me. You're never going to find me. I'm a pirate radio broadcast. But anyways, what we're going to talk about on this podcast is I want to talk about music. Music. Making music, listening to music, finding new music. I am lucky enough to have made some music with a dear friend of mine in Grand Rapids. His name is Adam Kavanaugh. He's also part of other bands, namely Lazy Genius, who we will talk about on this podcast. Another great band that he is part of is Matt 10 Clay and the Howlers, who we will be talking about in this podcast. I doubt that we're going to be talking about the project that him and I partake in called Carl, because Carl is just the redheaded cousin of the group that, just isn't accepted at family reunions, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't care. We're talking about great music. And today, we're going to be talking about 3 different bands. I'm going to break it down for you later as we go. 3 different songs from 3 different bands. Now, my buddy Adam Wolfer, who I collaborate with on a project, a side musical project of mine, he started a podcast that has pretty much the same format. I listened to his podcast and I was like, God damn it, I can do that too. He can't cover all the underground music, So, in further episodes, once I get a little bit more established and I get the information flowing to me, we will be bringing up his podcast and I'll be pushing you towards that. But right now, I'm just kind of in the middle of nowhere. I've got limited Wi-Fi. I don't have internet. I'm working off of my phone here. Excuse me. So it's a learning process, what we're talking about here. It's a learning process up here at Big Ten. That's what we call it up here, Big Ten. All right, I got a huge 10 acres up here, baby. Huge. It's huge. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's everything that everybody's talking about. All right, that was my best Trump impression. So anyways, that's not what we're going to be talking about. We're not going to be talking about politics. We're not going to be talking about this or that. We're going to be talking about fucking music, great underground bands, local bands, all right? And the first band that I want to be talking about today, I'm scrolling through my Spotify thinking, who am I going to talk about? First one I just thought of, Hollywood Makeout. Hollywood Makeout, a great band from Grand Rapids. A husband and wife run Hollywood Makeout, right? They're the backbone, if you will, of the situation. They are amazing. They're amazing. One of the first things, I was lucky enough back in 2017, I believe, my band was able to open for them. And I had never heard of this band. Just I knew that they had a following in Grand Rapids. I knew that they were pulling a majority of the draw. The other band that was playing then was Lazy Genius. They were, again, pulling a lot of the people coming in there. Nobody was there to see Carl. All right? We were the newcomers. But this band was just amazing. I actually remember lending some pics to the rhythm guitarist / lead singer. It was great. When she didn't have any picks, I was like, I got picks. I just felt like, part of the group, you know what I mean? But anyways, one thing that really drew me to this band was the bass player. The bass player is just, man, when you see a bass player just really get into it, as opposed to just kind of standing in the background and laying down, the rhythm, which it is what it is. I appreciate a great bass player, regardless of what you do. But when you have the setup to where that bass player can really kind of shine and just kind of go bonkers, I just love it. It's just everybody in the band should be going bonkers. I love seeing a band where everybody's into it. And these guys really, they just killed it. I was totally turned on after seeing them. I immediately was like, I gotta start listening to their music. I gotta get their CDs. I gotta fucking get up to snuff on what they're doing. And their latest album, one I just love, their latest one, 2018, all right, Hollywood Makeout, Speedo Spider. Speedo is in what, Europeans wear to the beach, and Spider is in that little creepy crawly guy with 8 legs. Speedo Spider by Hollywood Makeout. It is on Spotify right now. You should be stopping this podcast right now and going and checking out Speedo Spider by Hollywood Makeout on Spotify. It's just the best. And I bet you can find them on Bandcamp. Like I said, I'm just getting started. I haven't done any research. I just know I love the band. I don't know. I'm assuming HollywoodMakeout.bandcamp.com. Check that out. Try that out. Just to be sure you might find them. But I bet you there's more albums on there. I know there's more albums on there. So go do some digging on your own. I can't do it all for you. I'm not going to give you all the answers. You got to go digging for yourself, and that's the fun of it. But Hollywood Makeout. This last album, the whole album is great. It's really great. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 songs. 6 songs. An amazing album. I can't tell you. The one we're going to listen to right now, Orange Peels in Ashtrays. One of my favorite songs by them. The lyrics are amazing. The vocal lines are amazing. The bass line, amazing. The drums, amazing. Everything is amazing. It's just a well laid out song. It's just, in my opinion, it's just a great song. You can dance to it. You can chill to it. You can drive to it. You can walk to it. You can do whatever you want to it. It's just a great fucking song. Orange Peels in Ashtrays. We're going to take a listen, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. So here we go. Hollywood Makeout from Speedo Spider, Orange Peels in Ashtrays. All right, that was Orange Peels in Ashtrays. Speedo Spider by Hollywood Makeout. Speedo Spider is the album. Hollywood Makeout is the band. Orange Peels and Ashtrays is the song. Go and check it out. I mean, if you listen to that intro and that bass line, it's just bouncing. You're not sure where it's going to take you. It seems off in a way. And then all of a sudden the drums and the guitar comes in and alters the reality of it, and all of a sudden you're in a smooth timing. It pulls you in. The lyrics on it, the vocals are just amazing. I fell in love with the vocals almost immediately. It was just something new, something fresh, something different, and I loved it. The lyrics on it are great. I mean, just so many great lyrics in that song. As a songwriter, and to other songwriters, when you hear great lines, it's just you gravitate to them. You think, why didn't I think of that? And one of them, don't take it personal if I don't get emotional. That's just, that's such a great line that relates to everybody. Just a great song. I mean, like I said, the whole album is amazing. They got great jams. Like I said, go find them on Bandcamp. They're on Spotify. Check them out. Download the music. Support local music. Support the band. Support the merchandise. Just like help them out. They're making great music. They're playing shows. Just a great band overall. So please go check them out. Find out where they're at. You know, I'll hopefully have some links. I'm gonna get the links for when we put this on YouTube. I'll put the links to where you can find them. So please go check them out. Just a great band. Again, Hollywood Makeout. Hollywood Makeout. Great band. The next band we're going to be tapping into is a band that I have not had the pleasure of opening for, although I'd like to at some point in the future. Matt 10 Clay and the Howlers. Now, I have a history with Matt 10 Clay as a engineer or a producer, if you will. He owns Amber Lit Audio in Grand Rapids, a great recording studio, but he doesn't just record. He'll mix, he'll master. He's a jack of all trades when it comes to music, all right? And the knowledge of what makes a song sound good. So it's been a privilege getting to know him over the years. The drummer in the Howlers, Patrick Wieland, another great friend of mine from the late 90s. We're dating that far back. We're going that far back. That's crazy to say. And the bass player, Adam Kavanaugh, just happens to be the drummer and bass player in Carl, the band that I'm in. So it's a bit of, an encompassing circle when it comes to, live music and bands in Grand Rapids. Everybody kind of partakes. Everybody tries to help everybody out. So that's really cool. But again, their latest album from 2018, Bone Dry. You can find that on Spotify. It's under the Howlers. Just look for the Bone Dry album. Great album. Great album. What we're going to be highlighting today is the title track off of that. Now, most people say, oh, that's the single, Claypool. You're going with the single. No, not necessarily. It's just the title track. All right. And it just happens to be a great fucking song that I really like. So what we're going to dive into right now is the great workings of Matt 10 Clay and the Howlers. And I didn't mention this before. Another guy I am acquaintance with is Dan Fisher, a great guitarist. The other guitarist in the band, I don't know his name. I apologize. Hopefully, I'm sure I've met him in the past, but I was probably drunk or smoked a little bit too much of the hoo-ha, and, it just kind of left the old brainwaves. But regardless, I remember seeing their pedal boards and their guitars and thinking, oh boy, this has got to be good. with the arsenal that they have, it's going to be good. They're going to pull something out that's just going to sound so crazy. And it does. It sounds amazing. It was great seeing them play live at a house show. I was lucky enough to see them play live at a house show. And although there was only 20, 30 people there, you would have thought there was 500. They played amazing. They gave it their all. It was just a great show. So what we're going to listen to again now, Matt 10, Clay and the Howlers, from the album Bone Dry. Here is the title track, Bone Dry. Whew, all right. That was Bone Dry. Was that not just a great song? I mean, the atmosphere. Oh, it's just, I don't know I can't explain it. It's just a great song. When it's just that great of a song, you just can't explain it. It's just a great jam. The whole album is amazing. I can't say enough. Again, to the guys I know, Dan Fisher, Matt Ten Clay, Patrick, Adam, and the guitarist that I can't think of your name, I apologize. When I meet you in the future, you can beat me up and say you should have known me. But I just love that band. I love what they do. It's not just because they're from my hometown. It just so happens to be that they make some badass tunes, right? And it also helps that the leader of that band, Matt Ten Clay, is such a staple in underground music. And that's the key here, is underground music. That's what we're talking about here on this podcast is the DIY nature of everything, but also finding people like Matt Ten Clay that have a knowledge, but also, they don't have that bug up their ass. They're wanting to explore. They're wanting to produce. They're so balls deep in music that it doesn't matter where it comes from. Just make music. Let's just make music. Now, so I'm done fluffing old Matt's nuts right now. A great band. Go check them out. Again, Matt Ten Clay and the Howlers. The album is Bone Dry. Bone Dry. I almost segued into the next band that I'm about to talk about. But here we go. The next band, Lazy Genius. I can't even begin to tell you how much Lazy Genius has meant in my musical development. Number one, like I said, Patrick Wieland, the drummer for the Howlers, is the leader of Lazy Genius. Adam Kavanaugh, the bass player for Carl, is the bass player in Lazy Genius, and also, partially a songwriter and collaborator. He drums, he plays, he does everything. But, you got so many great players in that band. It's crazy. Dan Weir, the drummer, just solid in the pocket, like Ringo. He reminds me of Ringo, but I'll tell you what, you watch him live and he looks like Animal from the Muppets. Long, just fucking there, having a great time in the moment. Loves every minute of it. I remember Carl opened up for Lazy Genius, and we were hanging out outside, and I was nervous. I was anxious about playing the show, and Dan Weir it was nothing. He just wanted to get on stage. It was like, oh no, it doesn't bother me. He's that kind of performer. Johnny Bruja, a great lead guitarist, is so atmospheric with what he does. Christy, just great vocals, just a great instrumentalist, just adding atmosphere to everything. John Harrell, their keyboardist, oh my God, he's just great. The whole band, I'm so jealous of this band. Pat has just grabbed all the great players, and then you put Patsy on top of it, and he's just a great songwriter. I don't have, to be honest with you right now, the song I wanted to play, it's not on Spotify. I can't find it because it's only on record. I only have it on vinyl. It's from their second album, I believe, maybe third, their album Dreamy. If you can find that, I've been begging Pat to put it out on Spotify for a couple of years now. I love everything they do, but that album specifically, I just love it. I don't know, something about that album. And that's not to say everything they've done past that isn't great, because it is. It only gets better. But I guess I'm still hung up on Dreamy. I'm still digesting Dreamy. It's that good of an album. It's that great of an album. I haven't even finished really taking it all in, and I've listened to it at least 100 times. I love that album. I'm surprised the vinyl hasn't worn out or scratched to the point where I can't play it anymore. But anyways, if you can find that album and maybe even find Lazy Genius on Facebook, I'll put the links on the YouTube page. I'll put the links. Pressure him. Tell Patsy we want Dreamy on Spotify. We want it. We want it. Or repress it to where more people can get it. Because there's not enough copies of that album out in the world right now. There's not enough copies. But if you do happen to get your hands on that copy, there is a song called Take Your Time. Take Your Time. It is, it's just something, man. It is, I don't even want to talk about it because I can't play it for you. How fair is it for me to talk about it and I can't even fucking play it for you? You gotta find it. You gotta hassle Pat. You gotta pressure him. Get it on Spotify, Pat. This is Norman Claypool. Normie, baby. This is your big brother from the up north saying, put it on Spotify. The world needs to hear Dreamy. We need to hear that album because it's fucking amazing. But hey, guess what? They got more badass albums, all right? They got a lot of badass albums. So you find them on Spotify, Lazy Genius. You go to Bandcamp, you find Lazy Genius. They're going to blow your fucking mind, all right? And I've just heard, rumor has it, that they added another guitarist. So get the fuck out of town. This shit's about to get bonkers, everybody. Shit is about to get bonkers. You're going to be hearing some shit that's going to put you into a fucking coma. It's so fucking good what's going to come out. I just know it. I know something good is coming. But what we're going to listen to, man, their latest album, Holographic. Holographic, man. Lazy Genius Holographic. It's on Spotify right now. It's a great album. A great fucking album. And we're going to highlight one song off of here, even though it's tough to pick one. It really is tough to pick one because there's so many great songs. 9 songs, almost a 40-minute album. Great album. It'll take you on a journey. Pat knows how to put an album together. I'll tell you that. The guys from Lazy Genius, guys and girls, sorry, Christy, Crips, everybody calls her Crips. I didn't mean to disregard you. I'm just saying they know how to put together an album. And they work with Matt 10 Clay, who we just heard. We know he knows how to make a song, right? It's just, we might even, you know what? I might get crazy. We might listen to 2 songs off of this album. I'll see how you guys do. But right now we're going to listen to the first song off of their Holographic album. This one's been getting a lot of play when they play live. I've seen them live a couple of times. Great band live. I will tell you that right now. One of the few bands you will find or listen to when you go to see them, it sounds like the album. I mean, they are so tight. They are so well rehearsed. They've been playing together for so long. It's just, you can't go wrong. You really can't. You really can't. Every time I see them live, I'm like, why aren't these guys on tour across the USA? Why are they not bigger than they are? They should be. But again, the music scene, it just seems so saturated these days. But that doesn't matter. These guys are fucking killer. So we're going to listen to one song. And we might just listen to another. We'll see. We'll see. But right now, this is Lazy Genius from the album Holographic. Here is the song Get Some.
What else could I do?
oh God, can I get some relief? It's just, isn't that a great song? Can I get some relief from anything? Oh God. Oh, it's just, what a great song. What a great song. I can't tell you how much that band means to me. It's just a great band, great songs, homegrown, baby, homegrown. They record in Pat's home studio, it's partially, last I knew, basement. Now I think it might be an attic. It's just, but he's got the right mics and the amps. It's just, it doesn't matter, man. You don't have to be in a multi-million-dollar recording studio to make great songs. You don't have to. It's, I just love it. I love it to death. I'm trying to think of a song. I think I'm gonna end you with maybe another Hollywood Makeout song as we leave out, because again, I love that band. But again, I want you guys to know this is all about supporting local artists. All right, the bands that I'm gonna talk about, the local bands, like, get out and find them. You know what I mean? They're there. Go on Bandcamp, buy their album, download their tunes. They can see that people are listening. So let them know that you're listening, Taylor Swift don't need any more listens. She don't need any more albums. She's a millionaire. There's a lot of other great music out there, that can be listened to. And I'm going to try and show it to you. I hope I can show you some great music. So we're going to end this podcast with another great tune from Hollywood Makeout off of the Speedo Spider album. And this last song we're going to leave you with, from Speedo Spider, is the first song off of the album, Wheelhouse. Another one of my favorites, but again, geez, the whole album is my favorite. You got 6 songs. How can you pick a favorite? You got 6 kids. How are you going to pick a favorite? Well, maybe the one that doesn't go to jail, that's your least favorite, but who knows? I don't have kids, so who cares? First song off the album, Wheelhouse. Again, this is Hollywood Makeout. The album is Speedo Spider. Go find it. Go support it. Download it. Buy it. Contact the band and say, we want more. It's okay. They're great musicians. And I love the band. So happy that I got to open for them at one point. I know I've said that before, but it's a major accomplishment. When you get to play with another great band that just inspires you, it's something, man. So again, this is a song, Wheelhouse, off of their album Speedo Spider.
You've got no friends, you've got no more family, but I could spend my life with you.
that was the lead track, Wheelhouse, off of Hollywood Makeout's album from 2017, Speedo Spider. Man, just listening to that song again. I'm a huge fan of Orange Peels and Ashtrays, the first song we played on here. But I'm telling you that sometimes you get those albums where it's just, it transports you back into a time, someplace else. And that one, the whole album just transports me into a happy place. And what more do we want from music than to take us to that happy place? Whether it be, well, maybe not just a happy place, maybe an angry place or confused place. But either way, it's something that we can relate to and it'll help us get through it. But either way, I just want to give a shout out to Hollywood Makeout. Thank you for the great music. You've meant a lot to me. You still mean a lot to me. And I hope you have a long future in making music. I was just thinking, I started this off calling this the Drunken Podcast or the Drunken Musician. We're going to call this Brownout Audio Podcast. That seems to be a nice, safe name, Brownout Audio Podcast. We're going to talk about music. For any underground bands out there, send me your stuff. We'll talk about it. If it's something that pops up, man, I'll feature your song and we'll talk about it. I'm not saying you're going to get rich and famous because nobody's going to listen to this, but who cares? I do this because I love music and I want to push the bands that I love and that I like and get them some more recognition and keep them going. That's the purpose. Keep these underground bands going because that's what's driving it. You know what I mean? Top 40 is going to fade away. We need bands that are constantly creating and doing it themselves and taking it into their own hands and making their dreams come alive. And I have nothing but respect for that. So, I'm going to play you out on a song. This is a song from one of my favorite bands, and you might not know them. It is a band called Diamond Knights. Diamond Knights. They made an album in 2005, and to my knowledge, they have not made anything else. Well, I know they haven't because I follow them, and they haven't made anything else. And I'm pretty sure, if my research tells me right, that the lead guitarist from that band is now working with Kurt Vile, which some of you might know, Kurt Vile. But anyways, this is just a great band. We're going to talk about them in the future. We're going to feature their music a lot more because this album, Popsicle, what you all enjoyed as a child and what you enjoy now, a popsicle in the hot summer heat. Who wants a popsicle? You do. I do. Well, Diamond Knights is going to give it to you. So many great songs on this album. We're just going to play off with one of my favorites, but again, they're all my favorites. This is Saturday Fantastic from Diamond Knights Popsicle. We're going to see you soon. This isn't the last podcast. We're going to be doing more. I love you guys. Send me your thoughts. Here we go. Take it easy.
Wait a minute, press the button while I push up the lever. Whoa, we got to get this together. Let's get it started when it's got to start, not just whenever. Whoa, I said the sooner the better. Yeah. Oh. fuck the inclement weather. In fact, we got to tap a hydrant cause the work week's a desert. Whoa, this time somebody might get hurt. Shove your can asking straight through the ceiling.